Hey everybody. So happened before, happened again. Took decided to take on a lot more than I can handle. Um, and as per usual fashion, I ran out of time and don't think I can finish this initial project. But I learned lots about getting the Arduinos to work together. So it's not an entire loss. It's just a shame I won't be able to finish strong um, with the rest of our peer group. But I can still show you some progress show you the progress that I've made. To recap, I was trying to um, turn the Nintendo Switch into an alarm clock, and so that it wouldn't stop making noise until like I played a few minutes of video games. In this case, a random spin. Very ambitious, and I kind of saw from the start that this is going to be a big challenge, and it's likely I wouldn't finish on time. And that's exactly what happened. But it's not an entire loss because I can show you some of the stuff that I have managed to achieve in this small amount of time. Obviously, I'll come back to this with some help because it really looked like looking into this. Um, I don't think I'd be able to achieve. Um, I don't think I'll be able to achieve the um, the end goal without changing the entire tool set. So from just dabbling into um, Arduino that it comes with a standard Arduino environment. So it's got like the green white editor where you type in some programming. Um, I have like in order to achieve what I wanted to without reinventing everything, I'd have to upgrade to a more hands-on version. It's called AVR GCC, which is kind of delving into the software engineering territory where you know it's not a safe environment anymore, and you deal directly with programming on the board rather than just working with what was given with the safe Arduino IDE environment. So the sketches become actual like C# programs, and you have to deal with make files and all this complicated stuff. So the reason why I need to do that, and it was such a big jump for me, was because although it's not that big a jump, um, because I've done this stuff, well, I've programmed with it before, but it does mean I have to change the entire approach to make everything work together. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of people that have done it before. However, because they've done it before, they've completely abandoned the Arduino environment and built it in the AVR GCC environment. So I'd have to follow them and bring everything across for it to work together, which is a real shame because, but understandable because we're trying to get the Arduino to fake being a USB device so that the switch can talk to it. So that's a big step up, and I don't think I'll be able to do that within 5 days. But what I have done in 5 days is got two Arduinos talking to each other. One is a clock, and then the second one was intended to be the controller. So I can show you right now with this camera right here. So these are the two Arduinos that we connected together, and they talk together with something called I2C communication, which is like master-slave serial communication, which is what I've been able to figure out. And the reason why I'm using two devices is because this one actually comes with a Wi-Fi board. So the reason why I wanted to connect it to internet was to get the current time. So this thing actually connects to, which is really cool. With my Wi-Fi password, this thing is connected to the Wi-Fi network right now and is updated to its own clock. So I don't have to program a clock, I just ask the internet what the time is, and it gets the time. So it's able to connect wirelessly to the network, and so that's one half of this board. The other half of this board is an Uno. So it's an Uno Wi-Fi dual board setup, right? So 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 half the board is the Wi-Fi Ethernet, the Wi-Fi adapter, and that feeds information to the Uno board, and then that Uno board and that Arduino Uno forwards on that information to the main board, which I intended to be the Nintendo controller. But turns out I can't use as I said before, I can't use the standard Arduino kit to do this, and I'll have to move on to something more sophisticated. But it all works. So this is able to wirelessly connect to the internet, get the time, and tell this Arduino what the time is. And I'll show you how that looks right now. So as you can see, I'm not using the standard Arduino Sketch library. I'm using something called Visual Studio Code with like an Arduino extension, but it works pretty much the same way. As you can see here, we've got like our standard libraries, the setup loop, the setup, and the loop function here. So basically, like you can see here that we're getting the time. We're getting the time. It is now 9:12. And I can prove it to you because I'll just take the camera here. If I press the reset button on the Wi-Fi board, the time stops. Right, and it stopped there at 21:12:19. If I let go again, it restarts and starts telling the time again. It kind of gets mixed up. In fact, I don't know why it's showing that kind of time. I need to restart this program too. Bugs. I thought I fixed that bug. That's weird. So this is a bug right now where it's not giving us the correct time because the string coming across is weird. Anyway, I'll look into that. But as you can see, it's still got like 21:13 and the seconds, so it's still 9:13 p.m. It's still sitting across that data, and when I pressed restart, it didn't tell the time because the board was restarting. So it's proof that these boards are talking to each other, and my computer is currently connected to the second blue board. So I managed to figure that out. I'm pretty proud of myself for doing that. But encountered that hurdle, as I said before. I actually got a prototype of the Uno acting as a controller, acting out a script. It actually did move the switch like a controller. So basically the switch thinks that Uno is a controller and it thinks a human's playing. But instead it's a program running some instructions. So I did get that part working, but as I said before, it's in this new, it's using a different tool set altogether, which is a massive jump from from the Arduino environment. And it's going to take some time. So in usual fashion, bit off a lot more that I could chew under the advice of Mark, but learned heaps along the way, which I think was the intention. And I'm really proud of myself for like delving into electronics for the first time, so don't regret it. But yeah, the only regret I do have is not being able to finish, but we will finish it, and it will just take some more time. I hope you guys are doing well with your projects. I'll see you around, hopefully.